Ladies and gentlemen, this is most definitely the bad place. For this is a Fred Daling Productions podcast.
Hey, I don't get that
Yeah.
reference.
Don't you?
I've never seen it.
Ah,
You got to.
The only Ted Danson that I like is Three Men and a Baby.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
It's not bad. It's not good either.
Cue the music.
What we're yelling about? I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Finished. I know, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Look, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello.
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 I'm a Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and
And I've been the man, the myth, the legend that is me. I'm Michael Lister.
And you are now experiencing a podcast called Fred.
Yes, experiencing it through the medium of internet.
Yes.
Yes, we got the internet. It's running
got the
for
internet.
us.
Yes.
Ha
Yeah. Spectacular.
Spectacular.
Spectacular. All right. Welcome to the show, everyone. Let's get it on the road, shall we? With the weekly watchings, of course. Fulya, what have you been watching?
Hi. So I've been trying to catch up to MasterChef again, still behind.
Shorter,
I'm all,
shorter
like-
than a week.
Yeah, well, here's the thing though. They're probably already in their top 5, and I'm still in the top 8, and I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
By the time I catch up, it'll be over. It's inevitable. I think it's by the time I finish watching it, it's going to be done. So now I have to keep off social media just so that I can catch up and not be spoiled on who wins.
No spoilers.
I've also been catching up on some One Piece, going through a few episodes here and there of that. I've also been continuing on my love of the X-Men. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Absolutely enjoying it so much. I've also just sort of randomly here and there been watching through Haikyuu, season 2 of Haikyuu. So I've been really enjoying that.
Spike it.
Yeah. But the one thing that is new, and that is also film length that I've watched, is a documentary that is on Disney Plus. Jim Henson's Idea Man. Yeah. I kind of wish he was still around. Such a genius, man. So creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the way that he went about his work. He had such a amazing work ethic. The fact that he also had a mind that wanted to continue to make things and create film and TV and whatever, and it wasn't always just about, Muppets either. Like, I had no idea that he was into experimental style film. Which was really interesting and really cool as well. I kind of need to watch The Labyrinth now.
Yeah, me too.
Never seen it before.
What about the Dark Crystal? My favorite.
Dark Crystal. Oh, I don't know about that one.
It is a bit creepy.
Just seeing the the creatures that are in that film as well. Like, I know they are Muppets, but the look of them don't really necessarily attract me in any way. But the fact that it's a film that is all Muppets, essentially, that whole film. And that was insane to me. And then the way that they were moving and puppeteering these Muppets and voicing them and all that, and the sets they built for everything. It's insane. It was crazy. I loved it so much, but I think I resonated more when they talked about the whole idea of Sesame Street, and then when they moved into doing the Muppet Show, which, you know, the Muppet Show being a variety show with Muppets, but not necessarily for children, which was really cool. And I've seen the whole series, and I can see why it wasn't really made for kids. It is actually really good adult entertainment, but it's very tame adult entertainment. So I do like that. And the fact that it's still it's a show that Jim had to take to the UK to be able to have it broadcast. Like, that's crazy. What the US TV peoples had no idea what they had on their hands. The producers had no idea. And they let it go. It's
Crazy.
It's stupid.
Yes.
So yeah, but I'm glad that he was able to at least still put it out there, because it's an interesting show, and it's fun, and the fact that it's all Muppets except for the one special guest, or that are human, and the rest is just Muppets, and I love that. But the Muppet creating department, like the design department, must have been so busy trying to get those Muppets all done every week, making sure they're all ready to go, the different costumes they needed for these Muppets, and oh man, hats off to them, man. That must have been a hell of a project to achieve.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Definitely.
But
yeah.
But what was also interesting is the feels that you get from watching this documentary wasn't necessarily the nostalgia of all of the Muppets and stuff. It was more so about him and his relationship with his wife and his family and all that sort of stuff, and the fact that he was putting work ahead of them a lot, but only because of the fact that he was so adamant that he wanted to get this, you know, his ideas out there, and he was so interested in film and TV that much that he would take whatever opportunity he had, and he wouldn't say no to a lot of it. Which, yeah, and the amount of traveling that he had to do, especially for the Muppet Show, yeah, it was nuts. But yeah, what a creative guy. So such a brain. Like, I only wish I had like a portion of that kind of creativity, you know? So yeah, really enjoyed watching Jim Henson Idea Man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Glad you finally watched it. That's awesome. Very cool. Very
glad
cool.
I did too.
Yes. Everyone should watch it.
Yes.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Definitely worth checking out. Mike, your weekly watchings. Hello.
Hello. Yes, a couple of new things, and something that came out, and I managed to watch it. I watched the Steve Martin doco. The Steve
Nice.
exclamation mark brackets Martin close brackets.
Yeah, how's that?
It's really good. It's in 2 parts, and it takes place 2 eras of his career, basically. When he first started off, and like becoming a stand-up comic, which is more of a he wasn't really a stand-up comic. It was more theater based, and like he's doing like a caricature of an entertainer. So like and the mindset of the best entertainer in the world, but is bad at it. So it's, and yeah, it takes place in the first half of his career, and the second bit sort of takes place of when he was being in films and doing mostly films, and that sort of takes place. And the second one had more people talking, like interviews by his peers and all that. The first half was mostly like a string of pictures and film and mostly people talking in voiceover. So it's sort of a weird, sort of different doco in each episode, and I sort of gravitated towards the first one because that's sort of the stuff that I didn't know, and I'm much more fascinated with his sort of approach to like stage presence and acting and all that, and the second half was where he is today, essentially. And yeah, it goes all the way up to Only Murders in the Vicarage, and him sort of collaborating with Martin Short as well, which there are sort of scenes that him and Short are sort of writing together and sort of making that show that they toured like around the world, including in Australia. That Fulya, I think you've seen. So essentially, it's like the eggs of that, like the starting eggs of that, and yeah, it was really fascinating, and it talked about his family and how he was sort of a latecomer to fatherhood. Like he became a father in his 70s, so it's sort of So
Wow.
sort of strange. I wouldn't say strange. It's just a different way of like living your life, and can't really judge it. But and he definitely feels like he's very fulfilled with his position in life. Like he was always striving to find something his sort of legacy, and he feels like he's sort of accomplished to it. So that's good. So I would recommend it.
Sounds like he's sorry to cut you off. His audiobook that I've been listening to.
Yeah.
He talks a lot about his early starting career of being a stand-up comedian, moving into film and TV, which has been really interesting. So what you've just explained essentially just reminded me of the audiobook I was listening to. So he's essentially sort of taken a lot of that and put it into this limited series, which is really interesting because I definitely do want to check it out.
Yeah, it was probably made roughly at the same time, so it was sort of on his mind and sort of talking about it. I think he actually talks about his that autobiography, really, because he was sort of going back in his life and sort of remembering stuff, and it would be more fresh in his mind, and yeah, not to spoil anything, but probably the second bit was a bit more poignant. I definitely shed a tear once, where it's dealing with becoming a father, and also his relationship with his own father, how that was sort of a bit strained in most of his life, and getting approval of his choice of career as well. So that's sort of the second half is more poignant, especially he's dealing with becoming a father himself. So yeah, so that was great. It is on Apple Plus, and I didn't watch it on Apple Plus, so I would recommend it if you have Apple Plus or other means of getting Apple Plus stuff. Anyway, tangent to something that I did pay for. The Bear season 3 dropped, and me and the wife have watched all of it.
Amazing.
Yeah. When it first came out, we watched the first 5. Then the next 4, and then last night we finished with the last episode, and it's very good. I would recommend it, and it definitely helps to actually binge watch the entire thing before, because the first episode was quite unique, where it didn't really have much dialogue, and it was more of a recap, but also some added elements to Carmen's starting off career and where he is at this present time. And yes, he's out of the fridge at the moment, and he managed to get out of the fridge.
Got out of the fridge.
Got out of the fridge. And yeah, and it just set yourself up for what this particular series was about, where them still trying to find their groove within the new regime of the restaurant as well, and how everyone in it is sort of trying to find their purpose. And I think this whole thing is trying to find a purpose and dealing with legacy, and also dealing with past trauma and how to go about it, either confront it or even like forget about it, and it doesn't define you or anything like that. And there are a lot of good episodes in this, and there was one where I was essentially teary for the whole episode, and it dealt with a relationship that I don't particularly have, but I could sort of see echoes of my life, of people in my life sort of had to deal with that. So that was great. Not to spoil it, but where are you, Kendall, with the bear?
I've watched all of it as well.
There we go. So the one that I'm particularly talking about is when Nat gave birth.
Yes.
And her relationship with her mother, and then coming to terms with their relationship, and how it was very strained, and where things sort of went. So that was probably my favorite, probably a close favorite was sort of diving into the backstory of Tina as well. I actually quite like, because it was sort of a with the bear, it sort of has sort of a simple sort of premise of story, and you can definitely feel like it's like, oh, this is basically, this whole thing takes place within a year basically, and how they actually find that each episode sort of takes the time to actually have a conversation, which is quite cool, because they can actually slow down and actually dive into this sort of the psyche of these characters. And it was absolutely fantastic, and especially the Tina episode, where they sort of go back to where she was even before she started at the restaurant and before the change, and how she sort of had that relationship with Michael, and how you could sort of retroactively see, oh, so that's why she was a bit of a bitch in the first season, especially towards Sydney, and where she was like this the job that she has right now sort of was a saving grace for her, and she didn't want to see anything like tarnish it, especially after the traumatic thing that happened to Michael, and how they're dealing with it. So I really like it, and I'm speculating for the next season, because we know that the next season is going to be the final one, and they sort of planned ahead with making this season as well. So I can sort of see where maybe things are going, and I've got a hunch that maybe there's not going to be a restaurant at the end, because it's all to do with setting things aside and how things need to be lived, and I can sort of see Carmen probably even like going back to basics again and not having this sort of strain of a restaurant that needs to change its menu every day, which is insane, and and probably comes to terms like, okay, I need to stop what I'm doing. I don't need to do this anymore. I need to find happiness within myself, and that involves Claire, which I'm happy that she sort of pops in every so often in this season as well, in flashback as well as where she is right now. So and Sydney sort of broke me in the final episode where a character that was so strong having a panic attack. And it sort of shocked me to my core. It's like, oh, shit. This thing's sort of... Yeah. And they call this a comedy. Weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was a great season. And can't wait for the next one. And going to be sad when it's all done. And, yeah. And, of course, I've seen The Boys and House of Dragon.
Amazing. What a thanks, Mike. That's awesome. Yes, I'll just piggyback off the bear and give my thoughts. Yeah, I loved it as well. I just like the first episode was like, it kind of caught me off guard because, like you said, it doesn't really have a lot of dialogue, and it's really reflecting on Carmen's past and dealing with the present and how those two collide with each other, and that was kind of cool to see certain things that we hadn't seen before from him. But when we were into episode 2, and it's just the scene in the kitchen, and the non-negotiables keep getting bounced around, and just the characters keep coming in, and I was just like, the dialogue writing in this show is top fucking notch. Like,
even the performing.
And the performing, of course, absolutely. The way that they're able to just bounce off each other with such energy,
and even
not...
talking over each other is quite an art to actually do.
For sure, it feels very organic. It feels very like it's not forced.
It's real.
It's the whole thing feels very real the way it's done. Yes. So I really love that. I'm seconding everything you've said. But I also wanted to give a shout out to the fact that John Cena randomly showed up for one episode. That was funny. He's playing a character in the world.
Oh.
Yeah. And just now I'm never going to hear the word haunting or haunted the same ever again. Fuck. Because the other shout out is those two dudes, and I always forget their names.
The facts.
They fucking...
The fact family.
Yeah. They fucking crack me the hell up. Like, I'm sitting there watching them going back and forth. And at one point, they were just saying one word at each other. And they were having a whole conversation. And it's just... Oh, I just love it. They crack me up. And then, the episodes with Tina and the episode with Natalie in labor were definitely the two highlights for me. As someone who doesn't get along that well with her mum, and knowing how much my mum would love to be a grandmother, that scene was interesting for me on a personal level to watch, because I was like, oh, I'm probably never going to have this. Like, if I have kids, my mum will be at the hospital, I guess, if it happens, but I don't know. I would love to have a conversation like that with her, but that's never going to happen. But anyway, sorry to get really personal. I guess that's what good fiction does, good art does. Brings that shit out of you. But I loved it. It was amazing. Jamie Lee Curtis fucking continues to crush. She's so good. And then one other quick moment I just want to mention about the bear before I move on is in the last episode, I love how they call a restaurant closing a funeral. I think that's kind of beautiful in a weird way. And the other thing was that fucking scene with Joel McHale coming back, and it's the first time that Kami is seeing him, this absolute cunt, like the definition of cunt, and
Well-meaning cunt.
well-meaning cunt, and yeah, from a certain point of view. You know,
There's too many uses of that C word in a short period of time.
well, it's true. It's true. He's a bad person. No, I just for Kami to go up to him and be like, I've been thinking about what I would say to you if I saw you again, and you know, to confront this guy who caused him so much trauma as he was just trying to, you know, hone his craft in the kitchen, and this guy completely demoralizing him and berating him and dehumanizing him essentially in a lot of ways. Like, it's just cruel to watch those flashbacks, and the whole season they were kind of setting it up to lead to something like this, and I'm so glad that moment happened. And the fact that he was just like, you came into my restaurant a good chef and you left an excellent chef.
You're welcome.
Like, you're welcome. Yeah. Like, I thought it was fantastic. Like, he just kind of, like, that was the only way that moment was gonna go.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna apologize. He was gonna be like, no, yeah, what I said was, you know, fucked up, but I don't care about that because now you are better for what I put you through.
Yeah.
You know? And then the guy's like, I had ulcers. I had panic attacks. I have literal trauma. Yes, exactly. And it's just, oh man. Yeah. Yeah, fucking Jeremy Allen White's getting all the awards again next season. Jesus H. Yeah, it was fucking great. I loved Bear. It was awesome. I'm very, very glad that it's come and gone, and sad that next season's the last, but end on a high, man. End on a high. It's a smart play. Smart play.
That's why I think the
anyway.
restaurant's probably going to close.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, just...
And that sort of scene that at the dinner table between Pulsar and Sydney and Kami with the other chefs.
The other chefs.
I have a sneaky suspicion that they are probably real chefs.
They are. Yeah, I let the credits play afterwards, and I was watching the names, and all the names in the credits match the names of all the faces they put up in the names in the show in the episode, right? They're the same names, so they were all genuine, actual, like, Michelin star awarded chefs, like top tier. Yeah,
I definitely had that feel because as an actor, I could tell who's not an actor.
Yeah,
this is interesting.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So like, and they're sort of telling their scary stories, and yeah, it's sort of an interesting sort of dynamic as well as art, basically, and how this show's getting to be real.
Yeah,
a bit too real.
it doesn't finding itself in the real world, because there's that, and there's also like I love that there was one episode, it might have been the Tina episode, where the intro is different workplaces in Chicago, like just going to different like factories and showing the people, the blue collar workers,
and they're waving to camera,
way.
It's like, this is...
and they're waving a camera and doing all this, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know, you really get the feeling that Christopher Storer, who's the creator, like, he really has a decency and cares about the real people in the world, you know, the unsung heroes. So, and I kind of like that he's using this show, his creativity, to shine a light on those parts, even if it's brief. Like, it still means something, and we notice it.
And as it's a big hit, you can sort of do whatever you want.
Yeah,
fantastic.
you can tell. Yeah, you can tell. They've got that freedom now to kind of be a little bit more experimental and a little bit more creative, and use a lot of popular music but like in really cool ways, and yeah, it's good stuff.
A lot of Beastie Boys this season.
Yes, some Beastie Boys. I got a kick out of hearing Weezer in one of the episodes. Love Weezer. Yeah, so it's good times. The Bear, love it. Cool. So let me skim over everything else. Yes, House of the Dragon was great. It was awesome. Another great episode. It's just jaw-dropping ending was just brilliantly executed. I loved it.
Heart-wrenching.
God-wrenching. Far out. It's
If
such a
only
good
they
show.
just sat down and have a cup of tea and just talk about their issues.
Yeah. Yep. So much could be sorted through conversation
Talk
in
about
this
family
show.
drama.
Yep. The epitome of family drama.
Mm.
But it's great. It's good. Speaking of family drama, The Boys this week was excellent. I loved it. I loved it. Fucking Simon Pegg. Fucking I doff my beanie to, sir. Fucking hell. Like, I don't know about you, Mike, but I was bawling. That was rough. But like, his performance was so good, and I was just so shocked and stunned, and yeah, it was sad.
It was.
It was very sad.
And
But
not to
yeah.
do parallels, but as someone who doesn't really have a good relationship with their father, I'm never going to have that conversation either.
Yeah. Cohorts in
trauma.
in parental trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, and then just the you go from fucking insane, intense family stuff with violence to then just straight up violence with sheep and farm animals, and
This is what I want black sheep to be.
yeah,
Remember
I
that
thought
movie?
I thought of that movie when I was watching this. I was like, oh, they could totally remake that now.
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, it was fucking bonkers. It was fucking bonkers. And I love it. I love it. I'm here for how fucked up it is. And then just them fucking putting their parody of Marvel on Front Street with the fucking V52 presentation and all the fake titles, and getting the characters from Gen V to finally make an appearance, and
they definitely lampooned the Batman
well, yeah,
with Tech Knight.
yes, they that was hysterical.
I thought, yeah, fair cop.
Yeah, just more superhero parody in general. They continue to crush that aspect of the show. It was a lot of fun. Cool. Well, I just want to quickly mention one quick thing before I mention the other thing that I'm sure you guys are waiting for me to get to. I watched the first Omen because it's streaming on Disney Plus.
Oh,
and I haven't seen any of the Omen films. I definitely should watch the first one. And I looked up beforehand. I'm like, do I need to watch that before I watch this? And the internet said no. So I was like, well, it's a prequel. We'll just roll with it. Yeah, it was really good. This is kind of very close to what I think prequels should be, especially when they're, or even sequels, like especially when they're what they're connected to was made so long ago, because the style of this movie, the way it was shot, like the cinematography was amazing, and it really felt like that 70s style of filmmaking with like wide shots that just like slowly zoom in on a single thing, like that kind of, I don't know, just really trippy experimental sort of photography going on, and I really liked that. The vibe really felt like you were watching something that might have been made back then, but with better cameras somehow. I thought that was just
in 1080p.
It was just really cool.
Yeah, 60 frames per second.
Yeah, and the story was good, and the performances were outstanding, and Bill Nye's there for reasons. He plays a cardinal.
Ah,
Yes.
the science
yes.
guy plays a cardinal.
Yes. No. No, the other Bill Nye. It's okay. I know
Oh.
you're making a joke. I'm just clarifying. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Explain that
so.
joke. Okay.
Yeah, I did it again.
Uh-huh.
And then I just have to mention, as a fan of horror that doesn't mind gory horror, there was some really impressive and genuinely upsetting moments of violence in this movie that
Oh.
I really liked.
So I'll
What?
put that in my list.
You should.
The first Omen.
The first Omen. Yes, you should. You should. It's definitely worth a watch. And I'm definitely gonna watch the other ones now.
With
'cause-
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yes, it was a good time. And then I must finish my weekly watchings, of course, with my final review of Only Magic in the Mausoleum.
It's a magic show.
It's a magic show. Only Murders in the Building. Only Murders in the Building. I finished. I'm done. I'm all caught up.
Hey!
Finally!
Finally! I am on the same level as the two of you.
Are you sad?
Stop Hollywood.
Yes, I'm so curious. I am so curious about that because okay, well, spoilers for the show. I mean, you guys know obviously, but spoilers for anyone listening. But Zaz dies. Sad face. I was very upset by that. But she dies in the building. But then I knew before I watched this that they were moving to LA. So now I'm wondering, is the investigation going to lead them to LA? Because she was, she's obviously a stunt person and, I'm thinking Scott Bakula's definitely making a cameo at some point because they keep name dropping him and, she's gone to work for him. So maybe he's got something to do with it. I don't know. But clearly someone was trying to kill Charles. So yeah, I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious as to what's going on. As are you, I am sure. Yes. No, it was good. I liked the, the reveal of Dickie being I've forgotten her name already, but Meryl Streep's son. That was cool, explaining that whole thing, and then her taking the fall. I kind of liked how the season ended up being this these two mother-son relationships at the heart of the case and the story, and how completely opposite they kind of were, but they both had the same thing at their center, which was a mother caring for their son. So that was kind of nice in a weird way, but also kind of messed up. I kind of like how casually she was just like, "Yeah, I poisoned him. I did it. It's done. It's done." I'm like, well, this is the same woman who casually kisses her son, and she's like, "I can do that because he's gay." I'm like, that's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. But it's very funny. So it was good. It was good. I like where things are headed, and hopefully hopefully some success for Oliver somehow, somewhere. Cause the fucking songs, and I know they had the guys from The Greatest Showman on to help them with these songs, but they were great songs.
Yeah.
The scene where Charles actually does his song from start to finish the first time, and everyone in the background is just like, he's not killing it. He's not going to the White Room. That was awesome. Yeah, the whole thing, it was great. This is probably my favorite season.
Yeah. It's
I
a really
think
good season.
It is great. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Looking forward to where it's going next. So,
Yay!
yay!
That'll be our popcorn culture now.
Yes, it will when that
Finally.
comes back. Yes.
Ah,
Haha!
Aha!
Haha! You're welcome, everyone.
Content.
No, it was good. Content. We have content. Speaking of content, we should get to some of that now as we move on into the nerdy news.
This is the news, the nerdy news. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostest, Kendall Richardson. Take it away, Kendall.
Yes, hello. It's nerdy news time, and top of the list is some Marvel news. Ryan Reynolds dropped another little teaser for Deadpool and Wolverine. There's been a lot of extra little teasers that have been sprinkling out through the internet over the past few weeks, and this one piqued a lot of people's interest because we got to see the return of Tyler Mane's Sabretooth. For those who aren't aware, Tyler Mane played the original Superman. Sabretooth in the 2000 X-Men film.
Can you imagine if Superman somehow in this movie?
Hey, look, if anyone can make it happen, it's Deadpool. So,
Crossing the streams.
crossing the streams.
And
Yeah, so we got a bit.
Ralph as Superman.
Yes. Vindication again. Yes, anyway, so yeah, Sabretooth, we got a scene in this trailer with them the reveal and a sort of a preview of the face-off between them. But for me, it was the dialogue of Deadpool, of course, that was just the funniest part, because he's just hyping up this reunion / people have been waiting for this fight for so long. I'm like, I couldn't really care too much, to be honest, but I'm sure there are people out there that are very excited by this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Wolverine versus Hulk
Ooh.
guy myself.
Yes, that's fair. that'd be an interesting matchup. Yeah. So Deadpool fangirling hardcore, and I like that moment where Wolverine tells him to fuck off or whatever he says, and then Deadpool's like, oh,
Shut
like
the fuck
he
up.
just shut the fuck up.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, he said the thing. He said the thing. It's
Go
yeah.
fuck yourself.
It was pretty good. Pretty good little taste. I'm sure there's going to be many, many more cameos of this kind when we see the movie in 3.5 weeks coming out. It's exciting.
Yes.
Fulya, did you enjoy this little taste of the Wolverine Sabretooth fight?
Yeah, it was really, really cool, and yeah, I'm just excited. I just want to watch the damn movie already. Like, come on, I can't wait anymore. I need to see it now. Don't give me anything else. I don't want to be spoiled anymore. Just let me watch it.
We got Blind Owl doing a Old Spice commercial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Reasons.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Mike, your thoughts?
Yes. Well, kind of cool. Unfortunately, it was leaked that Sabretooth was going to be in it, but I think everything's going to be ramping up now because it's only 3 weeks. So if they've got Sabretooth, who else have they got? Who else? Can't wait.
Who else could it be?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it was around about this time that Hugh Jackman said he wouldn't mind coming back as Wolverine for Secret Wars as long as RDJ is back and Tobey Maguire comes back. And there's a lot of people doing a bit of fan edits of them three. And it's like, screw it. I'm a sucker for member berries and audience pleasing stuff.
Yes.
But how many chances do you get? I know it's Pavlov's dog, but you know, I want to enjoy myself before the whole world burns. So can't wait.
Can't wait. Yes. Nice. Good. All right. Speaking of things we can't wait for, this week Netflix gave us a big dump of names for the live-action One Piece season 2.
A big dump in One Piece.
A big dump in One Piece. That's right. Except they did it over like 3 different days.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
I know, and you have to search the internet for articles. It takes too long. Anyway.
Yeah, hoping for one big one, but it comes out as rabbit poo.
Okay, so, cool. I'm going to go in reverse chronological order because I'm most excited about one of the first names that was announced. Now, I don't know if any of you guys are going to know any of these characters. Because I don't know exactly if they're up to where this is happening or you've seen where this is anyway. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where things are compared, but I'm sure I'll read them out and I'm sure you guys will react appropriately. So on the 27th of June, we got these 4 names. Callum Kerr is going to be playing Smoker. Julia Rehwald, I like that name, I can't pronounce it, sorry, is going to be Tashigi. Rob Coletti is going to be playing Wapol. Probably said that wrong too. Tai Keo will be playing Dalton. The previous day, we had 3 more names. Clive Russell will be playing Crocus. Werner Ketzer, again, sorry, will be playing Dory. And Brendan Murray will be playing Brogy. And then the day before that, we have Daniel Lasker as Mr. 9, Cameras Johnson as Mr. 5, Jazara Jaslin, that's a great name, as Miss Valentine. And then the one I'm so excited about, David Desmalchin as Mr. 3.
Oh, yes.
The waxwork himself.
Looking at a picture of the 2 of them side by side that I have here, Mr. 3 looks like a very interesting person. And I think it's perfect for someone like David to take on.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so these are really cool. I know nothing about any of these characters. I read something about something Baroque something. Where is it?
Baroque Works.
Baroque Works?
Yep.
That's so I'm excited. Fulya, tell me what do you know about Baroque Works? What do you know about what any of these names mean? Explain to me. Teach me your ways.
I shall do my best. So Baroque Works is a villain team who are working under the name of Crocodile. And Crocodile is the big bad in this particular
saga.
Yes. And this is where you get Mr. 3, Mr. 5, Mr. 9, and all the others, which hopefully we'll get to see as well, because they'll all be like Mr. and Miss number. Because there are quite a few of them, actually. I think it goes up to 10, 9 or 10, something like that. So, yeah. And they all have different abilities from gum fruits that they've consumed.
Right.
So not gum fruits, devil fruits, I should say. Devil fruits, because the gum fruit is the one that
is Luffy's.
Luffy had.
Yes,
the one that Luffy ate. So each devil fruit has a different name, but each devil fruit also has a different ability that gives them. The one thing that is unanimous across anyone who eats a devil fruit is that they cannot swim. That is the only thing. They sacrifice the ability to swim.
I love that. It's a pirate show. I love that. That's great. That's fantastic.
And Luffy wants to be king of the pirates.
He does. So yeah, from all the names that we're seeing here, I am very excited to see David Desmulchen playing Mr. 3. I think he's gonna be a great Mr. 3, to be honest. There's Callum Kerr. I don't know where I've seen him from. He looks familiar. I'm not sure, but the fact that he's gonna be playing Smoker, holy moly, that character actually is. He's a Marine commander.
Mm-hmm.
Smoker's a Marine commander. And
he was teased at the end of the first season.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You see the back of his head, and he had 2 cigars at once.
Yes. Yeah. He always smokes 2 at the same time.
Interesting.
Yes.
One for each
one. Smoker. He is a very interesting character. He's got some layers on him, to be honest. From what I've seen so far.
I don't know. He's pretty cloudy.
Yes.
I guess I'll get that reference when season 2 comes
Soon.
out. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nah, look, I am very much excited about this next season that's coming up, but especially considering the fact that I've within the last couple of months have only recently finished the Crocodile arc with the Baroque Works team.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good fun, I think. We're gonna have some fun in this one. I wanna see how they end up condensing it. And I feel like it'll be done quite well in the way that they bring it together in a few short episodes. It'll definitely work out well because the anime series obviously extends out a lot of the battles to make it so that you have more to watch. So I feel like I think this particular saga is gonna come down into a nice package very nicely in this season. But yeah, I think we're on our way to potentially getting to Alabaster by the end of season 2, I would say. And then if they get a green light for season 3, then we're gonna get the Alabaster arc, hopefully. And
it's
that's
all to do with the algorithm.
Yeah. Watch it, people. Watch it. It's good.
I think people are.
Yes. And I'm so glad.
And people are pleasantly surprised that a animated anime adaptation, a Netflix adaptation, is doing quite well. Which that's always the butt of the joke.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite surprising that that's happening at the moment. But I am loving it. I cannot wait for this next season to come out. But we're going to be waiting a little while because of how extensive it is to actually make something like this, especially considering the style of these characters, the amount of CG that's going to be involved. It's going to be good.
I think they're more leaning towards the sort of I'll take my turn. I'll take my time. I think people find it pleasantly surprising that they're actually more leaning towards the practical, as well as the
it's a mix of both, to be honest. The fact that they're trying to incorporate a lot more of the practical where they can, but obviously when it comes down to the devil fruit stuff with their abilities, that's going to be a lot more.
Like Luffy's stretching is always going to be the expensive side of it, and also with all these characters coming in and Drum, I think we're going to Drum. In a way, we're going to see Chopper in this season.
Yes, that island where we get to see Chopper. Oh my gosh, Chopper.
Yeah, is Chopper going to be a puppet? Or is it going to be CGI?
We'll see.
It'll be interesting. We'll see. I mean, they did a lot of practical effects with those slugs and those snails that are intercoms and phones. So it'll be interesting where they're going to take it. Well, we've just talked about Jim Henson, so why don't the Jim Henson Company do something like this? Or they got their own guys. Who knows? I think because they've actually dumped all these is because they would be starting filming now, and of course they'll be filming on location as well as outside.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of like snoopers going in and taking pictures.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, the cat's going to be out of the bag anyway. So they just want to jump in front of it. So I think that's why they're sort of jumping into it first. I think that's why there's a big load, a big load of One Piece. I'm done.
A big old load of One Piece.
In One Piece.
In One Piece. I'm very
Number
excited.
2.
It's a big old number 2. Yeah. Love it. All right. So, our final item in the news this week really has me turning around a little bit on this show. During the week, HBO announced that not only was their Harry Potter series going to be a HBO original show, not a Max show as it originally was announced as, but they also named the showrunners basically for the series. And the really cool thing about it has people. These two people have both worked on Succession and Game of Thrones. So we've got some heavy hitters here in Francesca Gardner and Mark Mylod. Mark Mylod also directed the movie The Menu that I really, really liked. So I recommend people check that out. But Succession is still, even though I finished it a few months ago now, it's still very much in my brain. And so every time I see it come up somewhere, I'm like, that was 40 episodes of quality TV. So I'm really excited to see that he's involved with the Harry Potter show. And it has me really curious as to what kind of visual style it might have. Like Succession was a very kind of high quality sort of visual show. I think he directed some Game of Thrones as well, maybe. But as we know, Game of Thrones is known for its visuals. Sometimes it doesn't hit the mark with certain visuals people like to complain about, but overall for a fantasy show it's incredibly well made. And yeah, so to have these two people working on this show, just I don't know, I'm very intrigued, I'm very excited, but I suppose we'll have to just wait and see what the cast looks like when they tell us more of what kind of stories they're going to be telling. I mean, I think they have said it's going to be we're going to redo the books sort of situation. One season will be Philosopher's Stone, the next season's Chamber of Secrets. I think that's what they're doing. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it compares to the films and to see what kind of newness they can bring. Like, what's the point of this? We don't really need this series. Come to us with a point. Why does it prove to us why this should exist? So, hopefully, they can do that. Fulya, what do you think about this? I know you haven't seen Succession or really watched Game of Thrones, but I don't know. But the fact that these like notable people are working on it, does that do anything for you, or you still want to wait for a trailer?
I still want to wait for a trailer, to be honest. I'm not really aware of the people that you've just rolled off names. I don't like, even though I probably watch whatever shows they probably worked on, but it's not really hitting me, because considering the fact that it's supposed to be about Harry Potter and that franchise, and that world. So for me, it's going to be more of a visual thing. I want to see where they're taking it, what it looks like. If they're going by the books, then are they actually going to be going a bit more a bit more like darker in terms of its story? Is it going to be lighter? Like that's the thing that I wanna know. So yeah, at this particular stage and this point in time, until I get like a bit more of an idea of what we're going to be seeing, and a trailer. At the moment, I'm a bit on the fence about it, to be honest. Like, we've already had all of this, Harry Potter, Hogwarts universe, like, stories told to us. I don't know how much more of it anyone is really interested in, really, especially considering the fact that the Fantastic Beasts franchise wasn't that too long ago in terms of, more Hogwarts related, like more Wizarding World related sort of stories. I think like I'm glad it's not getting to a point where it's Marvel level where we're getting so much of it that we're getting sick of it. But yeah, I've just got this real tentative feeling about it of whether or not I really want to watch it. So until I get something to see, yeah, that's just me at the moment.
No, that's very fair. Very good point. While you were talking, I had a thought. Because the books are set in the 90s, like Harry goes to Hogwarts in what 1991. I'm pretty sure. So like, if they made this a period, like a proper period piece, which is hilarious me saying that because it's like, well, the movies were filmed 10 years later than when they were set, so it doesn't really matter. But I don't know, that could be an interesting angle to weave in if they actually set it in the years. But to be honest, I just wish they were tackling something in the world that wasn't this story.
Yeah, same.
Like I can appreciate Fantastic Beasts for doing something a bit different, showing us a different time period. Same with the Hogwarts Legacy game,
Yeah.
But there's so much more in this world that could be explored, I think.
Definitely.
So it's just, so I feel your grievances. And speaking of grievances, Mike, how is any of this sitting with you?
I'm surprised I found someone. Anyway. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, love it. I love it. Mm-hmm.
People know my thoughts on this particular franchise now.
Yes. And I admire your resilience with that.
It's very easy.
It's very easy.
I don't talk about most things that I used to enjoy as a kid because I could just leave it as a kid thing.
Yes, we can. Yes,
I only know 150 Pokemon, and I am fully aware there's more.
Yeah, I refuse to acknowledge the existence of anything past 151, I think. Yes.
That's me with Power Rangers.
Yeah, same.
First season Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They're the only Power Rangers.
Yes.
Not these other ones that came after.
5 million different spin-offs. Reincarnations. Anyway, that's the nerdy news, guys. We're done with that, and now we're going to roll on up to the trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Hee-ha.
Alrighty, well, if last week's trailer park wasn't that great for everybody, this one has something for everyone. And is a bit of a feast, I feel, this week. Cool. So we're gonna kick things off with the first teaser trailer for Robert Eggers' version of Nosferatu. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. I'm seeing this opening day. If I can see it ahead of opening day, I'm going. This looks fucking amazing. Visually, so. The atmosphere that's been created, the cast in this is fantastic, and just there are no bad things about this trailer. I don't think there are going to be any bad things about this movie, to be honest. I just, this is like the remake of like the original vampire film. Like that's huge. When they announced this, I was in it immediately from day one, and now that we're finally getting to see some footage, it's just so exciting, and it looks so good. It looks the exact right amount of terrifying. Like, let's make vampires scary again. Like, let's really make them, because I mean, I love the sexy brooding vampires as much as the next fangirl, but there. But bring them back to being these beings of terror again. Like, and this movie looks like that's exactly what it's going to be doing. Yeah. Sign me the fuck up. I'm in. Put it in my veins. I'm in. I'm so excited.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Take it from my veins. I don't think I need to throw to Fulya on this. I don't think she watched this one. So
No, I watched it.
Oh, you did? Oh,
I did.
Kudos to you.
I watched it not realizing what it was gonna be.
But
until it started.
I did specify.
Mike said in the comment, he said, this isn't for you.
I forgot.
Oh, honey. Okay, that's all right. So did you watch the whole thing, or?
I did.
Oh.
And?
Moving on.
But the cinematography.
The cinematography, Fulya.
The
it's nice. Sure.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna watch it though.
The themes.
No. The themes, the use of color. Oh man, that's great. All right, awesome. I'm so glad I threw to you briefly. Okay, Mike. What did you think of this? Are you looking forward to this?
Yes, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Probably not in the same. The original is always good, but I think it's a huge step up. I mean, there's dialogue.
Yes.
Spoken dialogue. And I'm happy that they decided to still tackle this without it being like, doing its own thing, because essentially Nosferatu was a movie about Dracula, but without copyright.
Yeah.
Didn't have the copyright for Dracula, so they had to do something else, but with the same sort of premise and all that. So it is. I can't remember if they actually call him a vampire or not in this in the original. I can't remember. I think I've only watched it once, and
I've never seen the original. I've only seen like little clips of it and stuff. I've never seen.
Well, ironically, that's out of copyright, so you can actually watch that for free. So.
Oh. Yes.
Because it's been 100 years.
It has. Correct.
This is 100 years of cinema.
100 years of cinema, Rick and Morty.
100 years. Nosferatu, 100 years. And Nosferatu is also sort of is a huge, phenomenal bit of the zeitgeist of popular culture. I mean, they made jokes about Nosferatu in SpongeBob, which is great. And yeah, and what's really cool about this movie, there's sort of like a little tie-in as well with the casting of William Dafoe, because there was a movie, I want to say 30 years ago, something like that, Ghost of a Vampire, where they actually played on the aspect of people who saw Nosferatu thought the guy playing Nosferatu was a real vampire, because it looked shockingly frightened, like a lot of people, and thought it was real. and this movie sort of plays on that sort of mythos of the people making the film actually got a vampire and actually filmed him, and by the end they had to kill him at the end, and that was a good movie, and I really enjoyed it. And William Dafoe actually played Nosferatu in that movie. So it's kind of interesting that they actually get him to play the
That's cool.
the Van Helsing character without being Van Helsing character.
Yes.
Because copyright. But some other guy. Yeah, and I will be watching this as well. Not sure in the dark because it's scary. It's scary even for me. But yeah, and I like the fact that they don't show him in this trailer.
Yeah.
Because the look is so iconic, and it will be very interesting on what they do. I think that's probably going to be the draw card. It's like, okay, they can't really do exactly because everyone knows what Nosferatu looks like, but I want to see like an adaptation, an updated version of Nosferatu. So when is this coming out?
Well, it's going to be the way to start your year off right, because Nosferatu will be in cinemas on New Year's Day next year.
But you know what's more ironic? The fact that it's coming out on Christmas Day in North America.
Yeah.
It's a good Christmas film.
Good Christmas film. Yeah, Christmas.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Nosferatu for Christmas. Yeah.
I always wanted Nosferatu for Christmas.
Happy Christmas. All right. Let's move on to our next trailer. This one is another doozy. Ladies and gentlemen, Batman, Cape Crusader. Holy fuck. Holy shit. I'm in again on this. Just fucking give it to me now. I read that this is kind of like the Batman. This is going to be the X-Men 97 of Batman animated shows, I think, because it's going to be like it's going to be an adult kind of show, apparently. Like, it's very much going to be not this Batman, what Batman the Animated Series was, even though that definitely tackled some adult themes throughout its run, but like they can be a bit more free with their violence and the things that they depict and certain themes and stuff, and you kind of get a sense of that in this trailer, that things are going to be very a little unhinged, a little crazy. A lot of bad things are going on in Gotham. What else is new? And yeah, it looks great. It looks great. Bruce Timm is, in charge of this, and we love him, and Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams are producing, and just yeah, this looks fantastic. Like this looks really, really good. Yeah, I can't wait to watch this. I wasn't like that interested because I'm like, I haven't watched all of the DC animated stuff. Like I went through a massive phase of that a few years ago and kind of fell out of it. And I watched season 1 of Harley Quinn and I enjoyed that. But I haven't gone back to finish it, and I knew this show was coming. But I don't know. I was just like, oh yeah, that'll be cool. And now I've seen the trailer. I'm like, well, I know what I'll be watching. I know what I'll be watching in a month from now. Yeah, it looks awesome. I can't wait. Fulya, how did Batman work for you this time? Can we get you in? Did we get you in with this one? Maybe.
It's animated.
It's animated.
I think I might.
Try one episode. See if you like it.
See. Check the pilot out. See how I feel.
Let's go.
It's like meth. Try for free once.
Well, that's the thing, right? At the moment, I've been addicted to watching the X-Men animated series, and I'm absolutely loving it. I feel like this is probably going to come down to that same sort of similar vibe, that I'm really going to hopefully enjoy more of the more superheroes that isn't Marvel. Because I don't know, like a lot of people might already know this. I'm not a huge DC fan, so the fact that we have this animated series of Batman, watching the trailer, I was kind of actually very intrigued by what was happening in the story and all that sort of stuff. And as the trailer kept going, I'm like, this isn't very family friendly, to be honest. It's probably more catered for us, adults, or maybe the young adults, I should say, more so. But yeah, look, honestly, even just the art style of the actual animation itself really sort of had me going as well. Like, I'm like, okay, this looks really nice. I like the look of this. But yeah, I'm very intrigued. So I might actually end up watching this.
I love it. I love it. I was not expecting that. That's fantastic.
Look, if you're gonna give me DC, I'll watch it in animated form.
There we go.
There you go.
This is her window in, ladies and gentlemen. This is it.
It's like reading comics, but animated.
Yeah. And essentially,
Exactly.
DC have been doing like straight to video adaptations of the comics in animated form anyway. And some people are saying, well, this is the best thing than live action has done.
Yeah, and I feel like for me as well, I'm going through a phase of really enjoying watching animated shows, like a lot more animated shows, even old ones. So I think this is sort of coming at the right time for me as well, considering the fact that I've been watching a lot of X-Men yeah, I am very interested in seeing how this one plays out. So yeah, I think I'd rather take animated form than live action. It's more interesting. It's more fun.
Except for one.
They can do more. They can do more with animated with animation. So yeah.
Nice. That's great, Fulya. that is very awesome. All right, Mike. How much did you love this trailer?
I loved it a lot. I've been hands down wanting to watch this since day one, and was very, very annoyed when Zaslav in his wise wisdom saying, "I don't want this. Who wants it?" And it's like, God damn it! And yeah, now it's on Prime because biggest bid, and the people behind it are sort of taking a second bite of the apple of when it comes to Batman with this, and I'm more than happy because I really enjoyed the Batman animated series, which is now on Stan. So Fulya, if you like this, there's also the one on Stan, and it's got my favorite Batman's voice. May he rest in peace. Kevin Conroy.
Might have to go check it out then.
Yeah, do it.
I think the Superman animated stuff is on there as well, and also Justice League as well. So you got a lot to catch up on. Yeah. So yeah, I'm more than eager to be watching this, and the vibe I'm really enjoying. It's got the long ears, which is great. More set in the 1930 sort of aspect of when comics were in their heyday, especially with Batman and that, because Batman's almost 100 years old. Not bad for an old man. and I can't wait. Hello, yes, all them.
So much Batman.
Watch all them.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Especially the Red Hood.
In that order.
I really enjoy the Red Hood.
Yes.
The Red Hood.
Yeah.
Under the Red Hood.
Under the Red Hood.
Oh, the Killing Joke's here too.
Yeah.
Eh?
Watch the second half of that. Don't watch the first like half an hour.
Yeah, just cut to 30 minutes and then go from there.
Yeah. And then
so, but to start with, I should go the Batman the animated series, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always a good place to start. Where
Yeah.
where it's introducing like all the rogues gallery and all the characters as well, and
Okay.
best adaptation for like Mr. Freeze and all that, and you get a good feel on most of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then from there, sky's the limit.
Indeed.
So when's this coming out?
Well, we're not going to have to wait too long at all to start watching Batman Cape Crusader, because it is going to be dropping on Prime on the 1st of August.
Oh, month.
Ah,
So a month
yeah.
away.
A month.
not too long to go.
Not too long to go. Not too long to go. Very
Nice.
exciting stuff. Nice.
I hope they dump all the episodes just as one rather than weekly. To be honest,
I don't know.
Let me see. I'm checking now. I've got it up.
Give me all of them.
All of them at once.
Talk amongst
Otherwise, I've got to
yourselves.
wait.
Yeah. Yep.
All
All,
done?
all at once,
Yeah.
baby.
One Piece dump.
One Piece dump. And apparently there's already a second season
Announced.
confirmed.
Yeah,
Well,
I think they
don't-
were doing 2 at once.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Awesome.
Great. But yeah, all episodes will be streaming on the 1st of August.
Cool.
Yeah, very
Good to
cool.
know.
Good to know. That's going to be a good binge.
Hmm.
Yes, it's going to be a good binge.
Well,
I'm
after
glad.
the first episode, see how it goes.
Yeah. We shall see. All right. Our next trailer is another thing that has definitely piqued my interest this week, and that is Robert Zemeckis' new film called Here.
Yeah.
Here. So going into watching this trailer, I had seen these interesting screen grabs of Tom Hanks and Robin Wright with a bit of the good old-fashioned de-aging technology happening. And I was a bit like, oh, okay. The skin looks a little smooth, but it's fine. It's kind of impressive. I was just like, what is this movie? What are we doing? And then watching the trailer and then getting like the full picture of what Robert Zemeckis is doing. I'm kind of like interested to sit down and watch this now. And not only because it's, I mean, I suppose a good thing, an interesting thing about this is that it's like the reunion of Forrest and Ginny.
Who? I got the forest bit, but
Jenny.
Janai.
Yes, Tom Hanks and Robin Wright reuniting from Forrest Gump, which Robert Zemeckis also directed.
Oh.
Yes. So that's kind of fun. And then but then like to see that it's a single cam shot movie. It's a static cam on the same, like focusing on the same spot the entire time.
Fly in the wall.
Yeah, fly on the wall, literally. And it's going from, clearly we're going to get to see some dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs going extinct, and then the evolution of man, and to what becomes this family in this home on this very spot, and their lives, and I'm like, that's really cool. Like, it's not just a story of humanity, but it's a story about Earth, and the history of our planet in a way, and that's kind of not something you see outside of documentaries. So the fact that he's putting a narrative on this and then doing it in such a really kind of creative way that's going to push the people that made this movie to like really, I don't know, experiment with things. What kind of stuff can you fit in one frame, in every shot? Like, how do you set up these shots? Like, how many takes are you doing? Are you doing single takes for a certain period? Stuff going on in this, and I think I'm most excited to see how that's going to be pulled off as well. So yeah, I'm I reckon I'll watch this. I don't know if I'll go to the cinema and watch it. I mean, we'll see what people are saying about it in terms of it being a visual spectacle, maybe. But I'll definitely think I'll check this out because I'm a little fascinated, I think. So, yeah. Fulia, what do you think of this? How did this work for you?
I actually like the look of this. It looks really interesting. The cinematography of just having this one spot sort of being looked at for, you know, a long period of time. And yeah, it looks really interesting, you know, going through different lives and like you said, evolution and all that sort of stuff. So it's a very interesting concept. I didn't know what to think of it when I first heard about this, but then when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, it's very fascinating. Um, it's almost like the whole 1917 thing where they try to make it look like it's one whole shot for the whole movie, but there's movement in that. But there's movement involved in that one, whereas this one's there's no movement. It's literally static. So it's like the opposite end of that. So that's kind of cool, and I like the idea of that. So yeah, I might actually end up checking this one out.
Nice, nice, nice. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, it looks very fascinating, and it will be interesting to watch this in like IMAX or something. See how it goes, because unfortunately you can't get away without it looking considerably like a dollhouse sort of aspect, where everything's in the same sort of shot and it's only that shot. So, and it would be interesting if it's all linear, or they do use time in a different way, as in they go back and forth and back, and see how the story goes from there. Like, it's very intriguing. It's very art housey, and something very different from Robert Zemeckis, which I like, because the last movie that I watched him do was crap. So yeah, Pinocchio.
Right. I
yeah.
was like, what movie? Yeah.
What movie was that?
Which one?
Which also had Tom Hanks. Yeah, he cast him in a lot. Yeah, and just to remind you all, is like, yeah, Robert Zemeckis, he did Forrest Gump and Back to the Future. Please come. I'm still an artist. I mean, he can sort of rest on his laurels and it's like, yeah, I did all these things. Now I'm going to do something weird and wacky. And it's like, yeah, do that thing. Do the weird and wacky instead of doing.
I really liked that or he didn't himself, but no, the trailer also mentioned my favorite movie, Contact, which kind of feels like it makes sense just because of what kind of, like that was about humanity going, looking to the stars, and here's us looking closer to home, and I don't know, I just thought that was
where we are as a species.
That was nice, yeah.
And yeah, it's surprising that they're going to do like before humanity as well. So, well, they're going essentially everything was molten lava, everything was covered in ice, and they're going to do that for about 5 minutes. I mean, do all the interesting stuff. So, and then humans. I wonder if they do the future where there's no more humans and aliens. Let's do aliens.
Aliens.
And it's the Contact aliens. Yay! I haven't seen Contact.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
I just know for some reason an alien looks like her dad.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes. That's spoilers for the ending.
Wow.
A little bit.
You can thank South Park for that.
Yeah. Of course.
Have you ever seen that movie Contact? I watched through all that fucking movie just to realize that alien wasn't her father. And that's it.
Gold.
Anyway.
It's a good movie.
I suppose. I haven't seen it. I can't judge. It's like you in the Labyrinth
Yes, true.
or Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal, yes.
So when's this coming out?
Okay. Here will be in the cinemas on the 14th of November.
Ah.
Yes. All right. Our last trailer, because yes, we're doing 4 this week. Is for an interesting take on a Christmas film. I don't know how this is gonna go, but we'll see. This movie is called Red One. It almost
Codename Red One.
Codename Red One. It almost had me immediately with Jack's J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus. Like, finally he gets to use his Commissioner Gordon guns for something.
Pushing weights.
never gonna let that go. Yeah. So yeah, and Dwayne Johnson is there because reasons.
He's head of security.
He's head of security.
He needs a win.
Could have
Says-
easily been Dave Bautista.
It could have, yeah. It could have been anybody, really. I think any person in this movie could have been anybody else. You know,
Yeah.
like this is one of those this is a star movie driven by the stars, not by the characters.
This definitely feels like a blacklisted script.
Yeah, I'd buy that. But yeah, it looks interesting. Santa's gone missing, and for some reason, they need Chris Evans to come in. This sounds like a fake movie.
Yeah.
I'm explaining the story, and I'm like, wait, this sounds like a fake film.
Yes.
Like,
So Chris Evans' character is a bounty hunter.
he's a bounty hunter. Yeah, he's like, they get him to come in, and 'cause they
Literally
think,
stole candy from a baby.
Yes.
yeah. They get him to come in because they think he will be able to find Santa Claus and save the day. And then the movie trailer after that proceeds to show us no use of his skill, really, I don't think, whatsoever. It was just
Because he's like shocked
shenanigans.
as to everything that he's seeing is
Yes.
all magical and mythical.
yes, we just get to see Chris Evans reacting to things for 2 minutes. Which I'll take it. It was funny. Like, it's good to see him kind of do
Was it?
something a little comedic. I mean, it wasn't. Okay, maybe I should define what I mean by say funny. I chuckled a little. I was like, this is fine. You know, something a bit different for him. Yeah, and then action. I don't know. I don't know if this movie's going to be any good or not when it comes out. I hope it's a leave your brain at the door sort of a romp. I'm guessing that's what they're trying to do here. Yeah. I don't know. I'm all here for alternative Christmas movies because I'm not a huge sweet saccharine Christmas person. You know,
Watch Scrooge.
yeah. I did do a collectible chaos list once on, you know, non-traditional Christmas movies, and I stand by that list. But yes, so we'll see whether or not I do a redo. Well, I'm not going to do a redo. I don't know what I'm saying, but with this movie on it is the point. Probably not. Anyway, I just want to get to Mike's thoughts really badly. So Fulya, please. Did you enjoy this? What did you think of this trailer? How did it go for you?
I liked it.
Nice.
I don't mind it. It's a different take on a Christmas film. This is kind of like, for me, this is what I would say. What's that Bruce Willis movie? I keep forgetting the name of, and it's
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Yes, this is kind of like the Die Hard for me.
Really?
Yeah, really. I know this is definitely going to be a leave your brain at the door action comedy. That's what it looks like to me. And I don't mind that, to be honest. And
That's fine.
I just want to see Chris Evans do something different because I haven't really seen him in too much other than, Knives Out, and I think that was probably it for me apart from, all the Avengers stuff. Like, I just want to see him doing something out of his wheelhouse that I've never seen him do before, and this looks like something I would enjoy. So, yeah, I'll report back when this is out, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Great.
Cool.
Please do.
Do it,
Because I know
Canary.
Michael's not going to be seeing it.
Thanks, Canary. Do it, Canary. Thank you.
All right, Mike, hit us with your thoughts. What
Go
did you
ahead.
make of Red One?
Well, I actually watched this like before the suggestion because it was actually a ad roll for YouTube, and I watched this when I woke up, and it had a look at it. It's like, oh, J.K. Simmons, I like him, and it's like, and then it had and Dwayne. I thought, yeah, okay. He hasn't really like been in anything that I like so far. So see what happens. And then it started to unfold, and then Santa. Oh, he's Santa. Okay, it's a Christmas movie. All right, let's see how it goes. And then Santa gets captured, and they need to find him. It's like, okay, I've sort of seen this scenario before. Santa needs help, so they get someone like Kiss or something. It's sort of those sort of Hallmark, well, not really Hallmark, but the sort of tie in Santa with like out of the ordinary, like means of trying to save Christmas. I understand that. And then, yeah, and they literally got a bounty hunter who's on the naughty list. And then it just rubbed me up the wrong way of literally stealing candy from a baby so fucking on the nose. And it's not good. I didn't find it funny at all. I understand the jokes are cheesy, but even the action was boring.
Yeah, the action wasn't that great.
It's like, oh yeah, I get it. Snowman. It's like, oh, the snowman is, and then they did the snowman thing of, oh, you take off the body and it comes back on. It's like, and then Chris Evans does a quip, and it's like, I hate it. I hate this so much. No. And then I get the run sheet, and it's like, okay, I don't need to see it again. I don't like this at all. And it's unfortunate because the Rock Johnson and a little bit of Chris as well, their sort of stardom is sort of waning at the moment, and they're trying to find something to do, because I think it was like Chris Evans' last, what was it, the Apple movie that came out where...
Oh, yeah, it had one word. It was him and Anna de Armas, and apparently it wasn't great.
And apparently that wasn't great. It's like, oh, that's a shame. And they're trying to...
Ghosted.
And
yeah,
they got panned. Dwayne Rock Johnson, the egomaniac that's recently come out, that he, trying to take over the DC. It's like, this is my thing. It's like, wow, you had sort of a cult following, and not anymore. So you need to find something, and you're not that good of an actor. Sorry, but you are playing this role. You're playing the same role over and over. It's like, okay, just stick to your wheelhouse and do something like that. But do something that's... I can understand the making... They don't make fun of it, that this is the situation. They're making it semi-serious of what they're actually doing. There's no tongue-in-cheek sort of thing. It just looks petty and boring. And I don't like it. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I'm usually the benefit of the doubt, but it's just a waste of J.K. Simmons. I'm sorry. I always like things to be good, but it didn't do me. It didn't do me nice. And also,
would you say this?
It's also a Christmas film as well. It's like, yeah, I sort of get it, Kendall. They're very far in between of like real good ones, and it's like it feels like it's the same vein as like Christmas with the Cranks and like Deck the Halls or whatever it is. Even Jingle All the Way, I didn't particularly like. Like it was, and that was sort of boring as well. It's like you're just doing this so you can get your health insurance from your actors' equity. So because you need to do a movie like each year just to keep that going. So yeah, I don't like it. When's it coming out?
Well, funny you should ask, Mike,
Christmas?
because
Is it Christmas?
no, it's not Christmas. It's actually coming out on the same day as our previous trailer. Red One will be dropping in cinemas on the 14th of November. So,
I'll take one for the team.
Yeah. So you've got your choices. You can go see Robert Zemeckis' really interesting thinky life movie, or a really average looking Christmas action film.
So the start of November.
Mid-November, yeah.
Mid. Sorry.
Mid.
Oh, 3rd of November?
14th.
14th. Oh, yeah. But still, the holidays doesn't really start until in November, in December. So
bit early.
I would be surprised if this only lasted like a week.
I hope it lasts a little bit longer, because at the time that it releases, I'll be coming back home from the US.
Well, the way things are going, you're probably going to be forced back from the US.
Don't say that. Jeez.
I'm sorry. After that debate, I have no hope. I have no hope anymore.
Please.
I don't think the world has any hope left for that country.
America. Failed experiment.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Alright, that's Trailer Park. Done. Dillion.
Yeah.
Which means
Yes.
it's time.
Oh, yes.
For the moment.
Yes.
Segment. The section. The part. The place. The spot. That thing in a galaxy far, far away we like to call.
Ooh.
Culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's popcorn culture time, and we are here to discuss our thoughts on the Acolyte, episode 5. Called it Night. They named it Night. I knew it was gonna be a thing. I mean, yes, it's not a stretch. It was very obvious, but I was very happy.
There's a theme happening.
There is a theme happening with the episode names. Yes.
Lost and found, day and night.
Yeah.
Twins,
one light and one dark. Yes. Yes.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
It rhymes.
The next two will be sun and moon.
Yeah, maybe. Sith and Jedi, probably. After
Diamond
this episode.
and crystal.
Red and blue.
Red and blue. Ruby and opal.
Sapphire.
Sapphire, yeah. I was going to say opal, but that's green.
That's green. Okay. Yes, so, now that we have no Doctor Who to discuss, presently, we have bumped up the Acolyte from Quickie Review. And what a week to bump it up.
Yeah.
Should I
you.
say? Yes. They timed that well. Thank you, Disney. Because, you know, I think it's fair to say for all of us here that we have been a little underwhelmed by so far. You know, willing to stick with it, give it a chance, see where it's going, liking some of what it's doing, but kind of acknowledging that maybe it's not going up to its full potential, what it could be. And then this episode happened, and now I'm so much more interested. Like, this
little uptick, more of a huh.
Yeah, more of a And
I said last week that after the end of that episode from last week that I think this is where it's starting to ramp up.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
True.
definitely. Like with the way the episode ended last week, you know, with the master arriving and beginning to throw down, things were definitely in an upward trajectory for sure. And then this episode, it's
Who said that it was going to be there's Manny DiGiacinto's character that was going to be the stranger? Was it you, Kendall?
it was the internet.
Okay, all right.
I was the one that mentioned it on the pod,
Yes.
because I had seen it.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and after seeing that, and then, you know, and after having seen the episode and we were talking about it, I was like, I feel like it's gonna be the case, but there were a lot of people that were also like, is it a red herring because it's too obvious? But no, they were just this show. I don't think is really telling too complex a story.
No.
It's using a lot of very, you know, black and white themes going on here, good versus evil, that kind of stuff. There's a little bit of gray area maybe happening, you know, in terms of Sol's character potentially, but and whatever's happening with the twins now.
Yeah.
But so that was, I'm kind of glad it was him because, and yeah, we'll get into it. I'm not going to apologize for the fangirling I might do while we talk about it, because I have another villain on my roster. And for, you know, I was just like, I was having a good time. I was having a great time. Like, no,
he got his guns out, and Kendall was like, whew.
And it wasn't even just that. Like, I don't usually go for muscles. Like, his arms were nice. Like, I will, you know, those moments where, like, the mask was on and you get a little glimpse of the, you know.
The arms were bare under that cape.
Yeah. Oh, that was tick number one. Anyway, we'll get into it. I have a lot to say about Chimere. I think we're pronouncing it Chimere. About him and his character but yeah, as a quick overall, yeah, this is a good improvement for this show, this episode. Very interesting direction that they're taking it now, and a big balls they've got to, you know, spoilers, kill off so many characters.
Yeah.
I kind of yeah, the clapping is appropriate.
Stakes.
Yeah. Yes. Well done.
Red shirts.
Yes. Yeah, red shirts everywhere you look. Yeah, so things are definitely ticking up for the Acolyte after this episode. So I this is probably my favorite episode so far, easily. Yeah, I really liked it. Anyway, I'm gonna freak out later. Fulya, how did this go for you? What did you think?
Yeah, look, honestly, after the end of last week's episode, and you know, it was obvious where it was going. There was, you know, it's going to be a lot more sort of lightsaber battles happening, and the fact that they had so many Jedis battling this one person is actually really cool. That I kind of liked, and it's like in this forest area and all you see really are the lightsabers sort of going all over the place, and like especially in the background when we're seeing mostly Osha in the foreground. And yeah, that I really loved when I was watching this episode. And then just overall it was getting to a point where I'm like, oh, are they gonna get May? Are they not gonna get May? Oh, they got May. What's gonna happen now? And then everything else that happened after that, I was just like, yeah, I kind of figured she was gonna do that and all that sort of stuff. So, but the deaths in this episode kind of like shocked me. One more so than the other, but I was still shocked by both. And oh man, just watching Manny Jacinto just be evil AF. Holy crap. He was having a field day with that character. Like, wow. Like, there was no empathy whatsoever. And just no emotion. Literally just, I don't care. I'm going to play by my own rules because there are no rules for me. And I just want to do what I want with the powers that I have, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he wants. And you sort of, it kind of makes you think a lot because that's the thing that I wanted to find out from this show. What is his motive? What is it that he wants? You know? Why is he so, hung up on killing Jedi? And that's the thing that I really wanted to learn about. And this episode gave that to us. Like,
good.
Now I understand. Now I get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what got me that little bit more excited from this episode. The fact that we know what the reason is. We know the why. Now we just got to figure out everything else and where the rest of this season's going, essentially. But like, I have a feeling of what's going to happen, but we'll talk about it later. So anyway.
Right. Nice. All right. How did this episode of The Acolyte work for you? What did you think?
Definitely was a big step up from previous episodes, and I still think this could have benefited being like a single movie, just so we can get everything all at once, instead of having the plugging along and seeing what happens. And I have heard that some people think it could have been, in order for us to like get into these sort of characters, because they sort of set up all these characters to die basically. So it could have been, it could have benefited that this series could have been longer instead of the episodes that we've got, which is sort of a weird juxtaposition of me saying, oh, it should have been condensed into a movie. But if you sort of stretch it out and actually you get to know these characters a bit more, so you can actually understand their sort of motivations a bit quicker, as well as like having like more of like the red herrings of finding out who's going to be the master, except everyone sort of clinged on who the master's going to be, especially after the last episode where essentially he said, yeah, I'm here too. Why are you here again? Why have you got that big bag? have you got your master suit in there?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it could have been different. Could have did other things, but we got what we got. So let's talk about that. I've always said that I like the fight scenes in this, especially in the first episode with to set up the characters and Trinity as well doing her thing.
Yeah.
And the sort of wire work that they did as well, it looked fantastic. And I haven't seen like Jedi's fight like that for a long time. And I like the fact that we're sort of having more fun with that, especially with this series, because we've sort of not had many Jedi stuff for a while, except for like Ahsoka and that. But even that was sort of more to do with the character work in that instead of the fighting So, but this one's more attuned with let's get to the next thing so we can do more of a fight scene and that instead of more character work. So there's still that balance thing that still needs work of what sort of Star Wars that people like, and people like the sort of the fighting aspect as well as the Jedi and the Sith aspect, or people want sort of the character work in that. So there's still a balance in that. And Endor's doesn't have any Jedi, so it's its own thing. But with this, the sort of way that they sort of did the fighting sequence in this, I really enjoyed, especially the sort of choices that they chose to present this this master. I'm not really calling him Sith because he said some people might call me Sith, so I don't think he is Sith in a way, certain point of view, that sort of thing. And a lot of discourse on the line is saying, oh, it's just the Sith haven't been around for millennia. It doesn't make sense. It's like, well, the reason why everyone died is because this is going to be kept a secret. And this is sort of the hubris of the Jedi as well, because they're all because you sort of see it with them like dictating. It's like, no, you can't teach these young people about the ways of the Force. We only can do that because, you know, we are top dogs in religion. This is our religion. Get your get your pagan religions away from us Christians. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah, so I'm liking this through line of we're seeing the cracks of what the Jedi Order is going to be, as well as what would take place within the prequel trilogy of the height of heights of the Jedi Council and this underbelly of the Sith sort of rumbling, and they don't see it because, you know, hubris. So I'm liking that aspect, and the sort of retroactively finding out where Palpatine's going to be taking place in this, and as well as maybe Dark Plagueis is going to be in this. Like we don't really know much about him and his sort of discourse within the Star Wars universe as of yet, but people are speculating that maybe the Master is going to be Plagueis in a later life, or I have heard a theory that he might be the Padawan to Dark Plagueis, and he's looking for Osha to take on Plagueis because there can only be two, and that's the doctrine of the Sith and that sort of thing. Liking the fact that this is getting more exciting. I'm actually starting to enjoy it. So it took a while.
Yeah.
But it's getting there. And we've only got 3 more episodes. So I like it.
Yes. Yeah. Well said. Cool. Well, I really want to talk about the fight scenes. Because God fucking damn. This is some good fight choreography. As you said, Mike, like, you know, right from the beginning, this show, I think the one thing it's been really good at has been the fight stuff. All the Jedi fighting we've seen. And this episode was no exception, and in fact was just continuously mind-blowing. I don't know about you guys. I thought it was really clever and creative, and like just this opening scene with the Master, you know, being attacked from all sides by all the red shirt Jedi, and the way I lost my shit when he fucking shanked that one Jedi and then force pulled the other one onto the saber.
Like, yeah, she's dead. Oh, dead. He's dead too.
Both. And then decapitation.
Yeah.
That was life changing.
And the way that the camera swinged away from that.
Yeah, it was very clever.
Behind the trees. So
behind the trees. Yes, it's still Star Wars, kids. Um,
It's
but
all
yeah,
in the
yeah,
mind, you know.
it's all in the mind, you know. Nice. Yeah, I loved that moment so much. That was fucking sick. Yeah, that was one of my two favorite moments of the episode, but we'll get to the other one later. But yeah, I just loved just seeing what the Master could do against these other Jedi, like, you know, how he was able to disable their sabers temporarily as well was interesting. And then just consistently just beating them down, like, you know, and it wasn't like he didn't annihilate them all immediately either. Like they were also obviously very well trained and skilled in their own rights, and so not all of them died immediately, and you know, a bunch of them gave it a fair crack. But yeah, this whole opening fight sequence at the start was so good, and yeah, I really liked once they were all the other Jedi were kind of gone, and yeah, and then it was just, you know, these fights kind of between Sol and Jackie and what's his name?
The stranger.
Hondo?
Yeah. What's the name? What's the dude with the dreads? Forgotten his name. Anyway.
Oh, Yor.
Yord.
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 Thank you, Yord.
Yord.
Yord. Yes, and Yord. Yeah, like, so yeah. Every one of them kind of had like a one-on-one with the stranger, the Master. Pioneer, if you will.
Sashi
Yeah,
Dawn.
and and it was really cool, and I will say too, I kind of liked the voice that they gave him, like the Sith helmet voice. I thought it was really cool, and it didn't sound like anything we'd kind of heard before. Like, it obviously used a similar sort of mechanic, but it didn't, you know, you can see how there's like this evolution from fucking James L. Jones to Kylo Ren's voice to now this voice, you
Poetry.
know. It's just kind of really, yeah, it was cool. It was really, really cool. And just arms, you know, arms. I like arms.
Yeah, the arms.
Arms are nice. arms are great. Fulia, do you have any other thoughts on the fights, like the initial fighting?
Apart from the
and
arms
stuff?
being nice, yes.
Somebody's thirsty.
Yes. Oh, we're very thirsty over here, Mike. Very thirsty.
The fight scenes were amazingly epic. Like, I was glued to the screen. I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Okay, and just sort of watching everybody do their thing, but then having, you know, the stranger just not being at like he's still strong. He's got his own fight style, which is really cool too. Like, his fight style is a lot different to everyone else.
A good plot point for that.
Yeah.
When Yord said it's like he doesn't have a style, which throws him off
because
like,
they can't predict their next move and all that sort of stuff. And
so therefore they're ill-equipped to fight this guy.
Exactly.
That's why he laid waste on them.
Yeah. Because they're like, he's no Jedi, especially because Master Sol was like, you've been trained like a Jedi, but you're not a Jedi. Like, you're wielding the weapon of a Jedi, but you're not one.
You're using your feelings.
Yeah. But then, you know, the lines we get from the stranger, and just being all, you know, the whole, you know, you are a Jedi and yet you attack me from behind.
Yeah.
While my back was turned to you. Like, that is not the Jedi way. And then he turns, and then when he, like, just these things that he says that really puts Master Sol in his place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
makes him stop fighting. It just blew my mind that it's like, but you're not gonna do or say anything? Why are you just standing there? And then Master Sol just, you know, puts his lightsaber away and declares the rule of, you know, a Jedi doesn't attack an unarmed person, and then, you know, we've got the stranger just being like, you and your Jedi, you Jedi and your rules and all that sort of stuff, and it just goes to show that all he wants is freedom, which is what he says, to do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, he wants to be able to practice his way, like this. He says it's the Sith way, but like his way, and he wants an acolyte, and he wants to,
He wants a pupil. He wants to train someone in his style and all that sort of stuff.
and not worry about what the Jedi are going to do.
Yeah. The
Like,
one thing that I'm still a little hung up on, and maybe I shouldn't be, just given the fact that now that we've learned all of this, the whole idea of beating a Jedi without a weapon is the one thing that is still stuck in the back of my mind as to why he wanted May to do that. And yet he's gone out of his way to use a lightsaber.
I think that is because it's like you were just saying, Fulya. I think it's his way of teaching his pupil to get the Jedi to bend to their way, to get the Jedi to go against their beliefs, right?
Yeah, okay.
Break them
maybe
down.
be stronger than using a weapon.
Yeah. So just like if you can get them to attack you without a weapon, and then you can kill them without one, then it's. I feel like it's just a provocation, ultimately.
Okay.
But then like I guess a test of skill. If May could have defeated one of them without using a weapon as well, that would prove something different to him, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think we won't know until the very end that.
Yeah, maybe.
Considering like the quote unquote iconic thing for a Sith to have is a red lightsaber, and if a Padawan is sort of attacking someone with a red lightsaber, then therefore the cat's out of the bag. Then there's like, oh, there's a Sith, so and the entire Jedi Order Academy will be going after these two. So maybe it's just going to be more low level. And the reason why the Master came out is because backs against the wall. That these group of Jedis are actually looking for Osha to take her in to interrogate her. It's like, oh, what are you doing? You're attacking Jedi and all this. And he probably found out that I was like, oh well, I'm gonna have to lay waste on these bastards. So he went full force, ironically, and attacking them. And just laid waste, and unfortunately ended the episode. 2 people escaped. Well, one, but I'm not sure if he.
The other one was presumed to be dead until you see them again.
Yeah,
I say two for two on each side.
Yeah,
got Sol and May and Osha and Kymir, the Master.
2 sets left.
Yeah.
Yes.
So therefore, he needs to go after Sol.
Yeah. I've thoughts on the end
Because he saw his face. He
talk
knows too much.
Yes. we will get to the ending. Yeah. Well. Speaking of the fighting, May and Jackie get a bit of a showdown. As well, and I like seeing the two of them go up against each other. A little more equally matched, I suppose. And then how that kind of all led into just. I mean, we've already talked a bit about the Master revealing himself as a quote unquote Sith, but leading up to that reveal, like having Sol and Jackie there, like, both, after Sol and the Master have had their epic fight and stuff, and him saving Osha, and then you're telling him to, him telling Yor to take her away and all that stuff. Yeah, and then I liked how the fight kind of like Jackie really held her own against the Master. Like she was great. I love the fact that she, you know, pulled out Kelnocker's lightsaber and was dual wielding for a little bit. Like that was really cool. You know, and even after he disabled that lightsaber, she still had one left. She kept going and all of this, and it was just, yeah, it was fantastic. And then, in my opinion, led up to probably one of the coolest, greatest face reveals in any kind of anything. I really liked the way they did this, and because A, it was shocking, B, it was sad, and C, it was just visually, like, I don't know, I can't find the word for it, but just the fact that it's, you know, she gets killed, you know, he kills her after she knocks his helmet off, and then fucking his saber somehow becomes two other sabers, and he fucking stabs her, and you see, and immediately my brain was like, Ahsoka, ruined lightsaber, like she'll be fine, and then she copped 3 and like 1 dead in the chest. It's like, oh, she's not fine. I don't think she's coming back, guys. And then,
Well, her
but then
species may have her heart somewhere else, not necessarily in the middle of her chest, but in all intents and purposes, true. She's dead.
She's very dead. She's very dead, and it
Went
sucks.
out like a
I really liked her. I really liked her a lot. But just the moment of that, like she's dying and she's there, and you see the 3 wounds, and then she falls, and as she falls, then we see Chimera as the Master for the first time, and he's like in this really cool pose, and just
hair in his face,
and just the whole
slightly
look.
Slightly
sweaty. It was great. It was fucking sick. I fucking loved it. I loved it. So much. Anyway, it's good. No. Fulya. What did you about Jackie's fight, and how do you feel about losing her in this show?
Yeah, look, honestly, I think that was the one that shocked me the most.
Yeah.
And the way that she died, just I don't know, for some reason, even though he had the in his hand, for some reason my brain thought that it was like a gun that, or maybe like some lasers just shot out, and I'm just like, no, he didn't have one of those.
He turned it off and on again.
Quite very quickly, yeah, in quick successions, yeah, essentially. Yeah, so very shocked and sad to see Jackie die.
Yeah.
Essentially. That was quite sad to see.
And Sol's reaction too.
Yeah. Oh man. And that, as soon as that happened, he was gonna burst with emotion and just head straight for him. And I'm like, Jedi, don't use emotion to fight. Remember? Rules.
Don't do it. Don't do
those
it, man.
Jedi rules.
Those Jedi
but he
rules.
still ended up going for it, and you can tell that he was so upset about it because of the fact that he was just a child, it was a Padawan. It's like, you just killed someone with no feeling at all for who they are and their age and whatever, and they had a whole life ahead of them, sort of. And yeah, I was very upset about that. But that whole scenario that played out up until then was really cool. Just watching these lightsaber fights, and it was intense. It was great. When I had a feeling it was going to be him, but I didn't, I was kind of in a bit of denial at the same time that it wasn't going to be him, that it was going to be someone else. But while he still had his mask on and they were doing the battles, and you can see the bare arms coming out from underneath his cape and all that. And I'm like, okay, all right. So we see skin. But who could it be? And then when the reveal happened, I'm like, oh, there it is. had a feeling but didn't want it to be.
Could have been a de-aged Palpatine.
No.
No. But yeah, the other thing that I was also very kind of shocked about, not as much as Jackie, but still shocked. But like, I was waiting for it to happen, was Yord as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to mention him separately, but we can talk about Yord.
Yeah.
That was shocking, especially because, you know, he was just trying to follow Master Soul's orders and take Osha away, and then Osha was like, nah, we're going to have to
help him.
We have to go help them. They're all going to die. And then he's like, all right, I guess we'll go back. And then he dies. And it's just like, oh no. And then the way he died too. Like the fact that it was a neck snap and not anything Jedi or Force related. That was brutal. Yeah.
Oh.
Poor Yord.
Yeah.
Poor Yord.
I'm like, oh, it didn't last very long.
None of them did.
No.
Yeah.
God, it's so brutal.
He had a fan following.
Really?
Yeah. It was called the Yord Horde.
The Yord Horde.
The Yord Horde.
I kind of love that. That's great. That is great. Yeah. Yeah, but like I said earlier, like the fact that has got the balls to kill off these supporting players like this, like, you know, no one is safe. Not that any of them were safe, because this is set long ago, but like it's cool to see that they're like willing to just go there. Like here are these characters you've gotten to know over the last month. Well, now they're dead. So and I mean Jackie in particular, I think I really liked her, and so I'm really sad she's not going to be around anymore. But but hey, life goes on.
Yeah, blue Force Ghost.
Yeah, Force Ghost maybe. Who knows if they'd
for a Padawan? Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. Maybe Yord knew how to do it. I don't know. I think he was a Jedi Knight, actually. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he was still a Padawan. But anyway. Mike.
Hey.
Yeah. Any additional thoughts on the loss of Jackie and Yord?
Yeah, they were great. Yeah. There's a lot of sadness online at the moment. I saw a cosplayer who did a cosplay for Jackie. It's like me before episode 5, and she was in it. She was decked out and doing her thing, and then after episode 5, it's just putting it in the closet, putting her costume in the closet. It's like, and just touching it. It's like, oh, sad, very sad.
So sad.
And also the Yord Horde as well. I feel for them because he took his shirt off, and that's all he's known for.
Shirtless Jedi.
Yeah, you know, it harkens back to the Kylo Ren and
oh yeah,
with his boxed shape,
beefcake.
Yeah,
absolute square. It's like, can you and Ray's going, can you put something on, please? I know we have a force connection sort of thing, a diadem or whatever it's called. Dyad. People are speculating this is Mia and Osha.
May and Osha.
May and Osha are dyad.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, can't really talk much because they're not around to talk about. But you know, I'm sure they'll have their following. In the thing. I mean, fuck. Obi-Wan only survived one movie and then.
Yeah. And look what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He disappeared somehow.
Somehow. Cool. Well, one thing I really want to talk about is some of the stuff, and like Fully you hinted at this, but some of the things that the Master was saying post face reveal to and there's some really cool lines about, I've embraced my darkness. You know, what have you done with yours, sort of thing. Like I've, like hinting at this, there's something else going on with him, or like there's something we don't know yet. Which kind of also connects to how I'm feeling about the show in retrospect now, because I'm also wondering if the flashback we saw of what happened to May and Osha's family, the Coven of Witches, how much of that is accurate? How much of that is true? Where are there any deceptions hidden within there? Because the way May was talking, like that scene where we finally got to see May and Osha in the same spot as adults, the way May was talking, like it didn't seem she was unhinged. She wasn't yelling. She wasn't, she was clearly speaking a very sound mind and saying that, no, I didn't, like, I wasn't trying to, do anything bad. Like these, the Jedi were taking you away from us. Like they come to steal us. Like, we didn't do anything wrong to them. Like the Jedi are bad. And then she's talking about Osha being, maybe she's been brainwashed or whatever. And like, so she had some kind of sound arguments, like the two of them both did. And and compared to how crazy we saw May be when she was like, I'm going to kill you. And remember how we were all kind of like, this feels very, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it feels off. So I'm wondering what's the real story? Is there something else we don't know? And clearly Soul is connected in some form. Because maybe there's something else that he did there that he's responsible for that we don't know yet. But then it's like, how does Osha not know? And so there's just, I don't know. I liked that all of this dialogue kind of brought up all of these questions and kind of made me rethink what we've seen so far. I thought that was really cool. So, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Fulya? Do you think Soul is? I mean, clearly we've seen he's an emotional Jedi, and that's something that usually leads to badness. So, and then with hearing the Master say maybe there's some darkness in him. What do you make of all of this?
Yeah, the little bit of dialogue that we did get was definitely, I think, well placed in terms of the episode, and the things that were said were actually very kind of profound in a way. Like it makes you kind of think about what the actual statement is. Like especially when the stranger was always mentioning, all that sort of stuff, and I've come to an agreement with my darkness. Like, what have you done? Essentially, have you gone through your feelings and your darkness? But the fact that also that he says to everyone, especially with Osha around, that Master Soul is dangerous and that he shouldn't be trusted. That kind of puts question marks in my head as to why would he say that. He must definitely know something about him to be the one person that he really wants to knock off, and yeah, just all that kind of conversation that they all have, the conversation between May and Osha. I could see that they both have their beliefs and their values, but they're on opposite sides of the spectrum, essentially. May is all about family and, trying to protect her sister and the family and all that sort of stuff. And she thinks she's doing the right thing, but then Osha's like, no, you went dark. You were the one who, set the fire. I could have been killed because of you, but thanks to the Jedi, I survived. That's why I trust in the Jedi, and all that sort of stuff. And May's just like kind of pleading with her to not go back to the Jedi, essentially. Which, you know, kind of like May can see that it wasn't going to happen with Osha. Osha was definitely going to turn around and be like, no, I can't do that. You're evil and we have to arrest you and take you away. Which, you know, kind of brings us to what happens at the end. So, Michael, I'll send it over to you now before I say anything else.
Sure. There's still a mystery box with Saul. And I reckon we are going to be going back to that night and working out what's happening. Because it definitely does feel like we were following one person's journey into that story. I think I think we're going back to discover what really happened, as well as what was the intention of the Jedi going there. Because I don't think all of them died from asphyxiation from smoke. Thinking massacre.
Yeah, something surely.
Something serious. And Sol knows. And even the Master knows. Because Sol said, it's like, what master will wear a mask to instruct their student? It's like, what do you do with your mask? You're not truthful. So therefore, the master knows. How does he know? Because Mia told him. So what does Mia know? What really happened?
Mia? May.
Mia.
May. He means May.
Mia. May. Meh. It's late.
It is getting late. Yes, we should probably wrap this up very shortly. Cool. Well, yeah, the ending then, I guess. So, yeah. After the confrontation between the twins, Osha gets knocked the fuck out. And then May decides to take her place, I guess. She cuts off her dreads with her lightsaber, her braids. And yeah. And you know, I don't know how long she's gonna last without Sol realizing it's not Osha. I don't think it will last very long.
No.
Not only because he would probably be able to sense something is off, but also, you know, those dreads don't really do a great job of covering that mark that makes her so significantly different. So that's interesting as well. But yeah, I'm really curious as to what May's plans are now. Maybe this is what she was referring to by saying, you know, Osha's reappearance changes everything. Maybe this is part of her plan. She was going to pretend to be her sister, maybe, or like at least get in with the Jedi somehow. I don't know.
She originally did say that she would turn herself into the Jedi, but now that I have a feeling she's going to finish off what she started. Like she's gonna try and kill Sol.
Well, I'm of two minds about that. I mean, it makes sense that that's exactly what she would be doing. But then last week she also told Chimera that she was giving up on her mission. So
because she discovered her sister was alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I wouldn't put all my cards in the she's going to try and kill Sol basket.
No.
But I will not be surprised at all if the show does decide to do that. I hope it's something a bit better than that, if I'm honest. But yeah, because I feel like there's definitely some kind of complexity to May, as we've seen, like, you know, reneging on her deal with the Master, then pleading for his forgiveness this episode, you know. And he's like done. He's done with her as well too.
Yeah.
So you know, what is her plan now? What's her play? So I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with May. And then the fact that the Master now has Osha. And I'm fairly confident. I think maybe we're all confident here that he knows it's not May that he has. I think so. That's cool. That's interesting. What's he gonna do with her? Is he gonna try and, you know, work his Sithness on her? I don't know. Like he's looking for a pupil. He's looking for an acolyte, and he thought May was it. And now he has a shot at the twin sister, who, you know, who wanted to be a Force user originally, like an actual, you know, she wanted to leave the Coven. You know, she wanted a different life.
She wanted to be a Jedi.
She wanted to be a Jedi. So, what kind of ultimate way for the Master to kind of get one up on the Jedi by kind of turning and corrupting, you know, a former Padawan? That's, you know, it wouldn't be the first time Star Wars has done that, obviously, but you know, yeah. I don't know. Interesting. I think that where this episode ends, it leaves it in a very, very interesting place. Because I remember even thinking to myself after like everyone was dead, I was like, where are they taking this? Where is this going?
Is more
What
mystery boxes?
Yeah.
There's
Where?
more
What's
ulterior
going on?
motives.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we're gonna get to see these two pairings, and what's gonna happen with their characters, and I'm actually really, really interested to see where it goes. So, Fulya, your thoughts on the ending?
Yeah, look, as soon as I saw her go to cut her hair, and I'm like, yeah, okay, she's gonna take Osha's place.
Yeah.
She's gonna pretend to be Osha, go back to Seoul, and then get the heck off that planet, essentially. She just wanted out of there. And she thought, this was my way out. This is how I'm gonna go. But immediately my thought went to Soul's got to know that it, like, he would have sensed that it's not Osha, that it was me for a start. But I feel like maybe he's just playing along to get her back to where he wanted to take her in the first place. And then maybe that's when he'll confront her about it all.
Maybe he's too emotional.
He could also be too emotional in that moment to even think about it at that time, but he would definitely, because I feel like he had this kind of like confused look on his face when May, pretending to be Osha, came up and said, "Let's go, it's time to go, let me help you up." Like, he kind of looked a little confused, but then he was like, "Okay, I'll get up."
You smell different.
And they just, yeah. So I have a feeling, and I hope, like you said, Kendall, that it doesn't take him too long to realize that it's May. But at the same time, I also, like, I have this feeling that if he doesn't realize now, but he realizes later that it's May and that Osha's still back on that planet, that's going to be another thing that he's going to be going crazy about. It's like, oh crap, now I have to go back and save Osha because May knocked her out and left her there. So I kind of want to see where that kind of plays. But at the same time, you know, then we see that, you know, Osha's still unconscious, and then Chimera comes up to her and sort of being nice and gives us like his cape to keep her warm, I guess. Which was weird, and I'm just like,
I thought your
okay.
cape smelled bad on the outside.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have like this... Yeah, I have this feeling... I think you might be on the money, Kendall, that he might be taking Osha and probably knows that it's Osha to potentially train her in his ways, to give her something to think about in terms of what the Jedi did to him, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to tell his story to her. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, there is something about the stranger that we still don't really know. You know? The why he's upset with the Jedi. kind of situation, like personally to him.
Did he do some healing?
That's what
He
I'm
did.
thinking too.
Yeah,
yeah,
it
I
was
think he
force. It was
did.
force healing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Weird
did.
for a Sith.
Yeah.
Sith quotation marks.
There's
Yeah.
Still more to it.
There. He might have some layers too.
That's
Who
why
knows?
people may
Potentially.
think he's Plagueis, because he knew how to heal, give life, creation.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm very curious as to I'm just very curious as about Chimera and what his thoughts are and his motives for killing these Jedi. Yeah.
I just love killing.
I just love killing. You know, it's just my favorite thing.
I love to kill time. Haha.
My pastime.
My pastime. That's great. All right, Mike. What about you? What are your thoughts on the ending? What do you reckon?
Yeah, just curious. More curious. Keeps me invested in watching.
Yep.
Hmm.
Nothing to add. We've said it all.
Yeah. I think we said it perfectly.
Perfectly. Wonderful. All right, maybe that's a wrap then, folks, on our thoughts. Rapping. Yes, those are our thoughts. Episode 5 of The Acolyte Night. Very, very pleased. Very pleased with this.
Yes.
Very, very intrigued for where it's going. So hopefully the next 3 episodes, we've got 3 episodes left now. It'll take us to some interesting places with these characters. Now that there's only going to be 4 characters that are at the focus of this thing. So, yeah, it's yeah, I'm excited. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that discussion. I certainly did. You know, fangirl supreme over here.
Yeah. I will say he is a decent villain that they've introduced.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah, he's definitely what the show needed.
Cool motivation.
Yeah.
Conniving and getting into the other people's heads.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. I'm here for it. Let's see more of it.
See more
great.
arms.
more arms and holding people by their throats and smiling evilly. I'll take it. Thank you very much. All right, let's wrap up. That's popcorn culture. That's the show. We're done. No more show to be shown. Which means a 1, a 2. How you know what to do.
And
that was a podcast called
Fred.
Yes. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter for the latest Fred content.
If you'd like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of future content. And if you're watching us over on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow on your way out. Twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
Ooh, I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and
And I've been the Dark Lord that is Dark. Dark Teeth, Michael Lister.
And you just experienced
a podcast
called Fred. You know one name that a friend of mine pointed out that should have been his nickname, and the internet also did this, but I didn't know this until today. Smilo Ren. Smiler Ren, ladies and gentlemen. And with that I say, remember to eat beef.
Remember, Fred lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and also there's me.
Remember to look after yourself and your mental health, everyone.
Yes, please do. Thanks for watching. Thank you for listening. Laters, Gators.
And scene.
Scene.
Nah.